You're watching BBC News with me, Karen Giannoni, and special coverage of the breaking news of the last few hours that Israel has entered Lebanon with ground troops in what the Israeli military calls a limited, localised and targeted operation, ground operation against Hezbollah. There is Beirut, Lebanon's capital city. It has seen some strikes overnight, and the most of the action that we've been seeing has been towards the border with Israel, southern Lebanon, northern Israel, and we have been watching plumes of smoke rising over the last few hours. Let's just bring you a very latest line from the Lebanese Prime Minister's office. He urges the United Nations and donors to provide aid to displaced people. We know that there are an estimated 1 million Lebanese and Syrian refugees around the country on the move. Another line from the caretaker Prime Minister, Najib Makati. He said that his country is facing one of the most dangerous phases of its history, urging the United Nations to provide aid, as I said, for 1 million people displaced by the Israeli airstrikes, and now that operation going in on the ground into southern Lebanon. Now, Tracy Shamoun was former Lebanese ambassador to Jordan between 2017 and 2020, and she told me there's a sense of fear, but says Lebanon's experienced invasion before.
We've experienced Israeli incursions before that have turned into invasions and occupation. Israel occupied the south of Lebanon for, from 83 to 2000. So I think there's a lot of trauma there. I've been watching, the comments by the United States and the allies about, this being a limited incursion, and we're hoping that this will remain at that. Otherwise, it will be a completely different situation. Otherwise, it will be a war with Lebanon. And Lebanon has said all along that they don't want to have a war with Israel, and that our solution has to be diplomatic. And the solution will come from the implementation of the UN resolution 1701, which requires for the army to be positioned on the southern border with the UNIFIL, the interim UN forces in Lebanon, to secure the peace of the border. It's not up to the Israelis to create a buffer zone and secure peace. It's up to the Lebanese on their border.
And I know, having spoken to Israelis about that resolution that came into effect at the end of 2006 war, that was supposed to push Hezbollah north of the Litani River. They say that has not been implemented, therefore they are taking this action. And just hearing, though, in the last few minutes, I think, before we came on air, that the Lebanese government has been saying it's ready to fully implement that UN resolution that had aimed to end Hezbollah's presence south of that river in southern Lebanon. I mean, do you have any faith that this can happen, given that it hasn't up till now?
I just want to make a comment about the Israeli position on this. They've been the first also to violate that resolution with their, Air Force flying over Lebanon constantly over the last decades. So, those who live in glass houses can't throw stones. As far as the Lebanese government is concerned, yes, I think that they are really committed, and I think that they have international backing to do this. They've been supporting the Lebanese army in terms of reinforcing its capabilities in order to do this. But we need to be given a chance to do this. Now, if Israel maintains these incursions in a limited fashion to destroy Hezbollah's weapons and also to, clear out the tunnels, then that is, I would imagine, acceptable at this point, because we have not taken this as an invasion of the sovereign territory of Lebanon.
Yes, and you talk about sovereign territory, Tracy Shamoun, and I just want to give you to give us a sense, if you will, of what it is like for the Lebanese, given that this organisation, this armed militia, Hezbollah, is so powerful within it, and that the country as a whole effectively takes the consequences for that.
Well, you have two branches of Hezbollah. You have the political branch and you have the military branch. So the military branch has been taking its orders from Iran. You cannot separate the Shia population and their political leaders from the political fabric of Lebanese society. And we have to now find a way as Lebanese to, help our communities come together once again and unite once again to rebuild this country, which has suffered greatly for the last, 4 to 5 years. And so this is also an opportunity for the Lebanese to regroup under a Lebanese banner, a Lebanese flag, and rebuild this nation.
That's former Lebanese ambassador to Jordan, Tracy Shamoun. You're watching BBC News.